if you read our battalion history, which is now, it's about 300 pages long, it's the most extensive battalion history ever written about any Army battalion, including World War II. And second edition's coming out online. It goes through day by day the major things that happened for the entire 4 years by date. And if you read through it, you'll hear cobra bite, encounter with a cobra. They'll talk about the monkeys. I was out that a sniper had shot, and we were actually outside in the battalion at Tantru, and we're shooting back, dropping mortar rounds on where they think he is, and we're shooting because there's a Viet Cong flag hanging up that they put up there just to tease us. So we know they did that during the night, and somebody's gonna go get that flag for us, but we gotta secure the area. So we're shooting. We got guys that I got pictures of them shooting, and I hear this noise. I look down and say, "Oh, geez, that's the biggest rat I've ever seen." And I look down, and it wasn't a rat. I'd seen some big rats. It was a little kitten that was in the mud right outside, and he'd got caught, I guess, in the tide, and he's in the mud, and he can't really get out. I said, "Man, it's just a baby kitten." And I don't have no idea how he got there. Anyway, I reached down, I got the cat, and there's actually pictures in there of me giving that cat a bath. Somebody thought, "Lieutenant, you're gonna put your hands on that dirty cat?" I said, "Yes, cat saved his life. I may give him CPR." I'd be joking with him. And I washed him off and cleaned him up, and there's another picture where he's sitting there just proud as he can be as he became, that was my part of the wildlife. And then we had the proverbial water buffalo, and it involved not animals as such, but we were invited to the village chief's house. All the officers, the battalion commander, the XOs, a major, there was 2 or 3 other captains there, all the company commanders are there, and we're doing our diplomatic duty. We're going to visit the meet and greet at the village chief's house, and he's going to serve us a very special meal, which consisted of the 100-year-old eggs, that they've been buried out in the rice paddies. Animals pee on them, it loosens up the shell, but they stay under the ground, and they bring them up there. They're almost ready to hatch, but they still have the shell. So now you're supposed to open them, and they're a delicacy and only given to honored guests. So if you're offered one, you're supposed to eat it, right? Well, they had water buffalo that they'd killed and chopped up, but they're serving all this stuff, and I was now the E Company commander. I was out of the field, and I had recon platoon under me, but they have their own lieutenant, and I'm just biding my time until I rotate out. And I had I got wounded in the back of the leg, and it wasn't healing, so they let me, I think that's probably why they let me over. But I'd already been in the field 7 or 8 months anyway, I guess. Anyway, we had this special dinner, and the long and short of it not having much to do with the village chief's there. His whole family's there. They're in a bunker. They have sandbags inside their house. Their 2 little kids are over in the corner swinging. We go, we meet, we eat, we have a great time. I finally had to say, I appreciate this, but I think I shouldn't have this. I've got a little bit of I was trying to say I'm not feeling good. What I was saying was, if I eat that, I'm going to throw up. But I didn't say that to him. I didn't want to offend him. But I didn't eat. I got away with not eating the egg. But when they ask you what you want, I said, I saw they have their choice of drinks. Well, if you order Jack Daniels, they bring you the whole bottle, and you're supposed to drink it all. Well, not me. I wouldn't be able to move for a week if I drank a whole bottle. So I kind of backed out of that. We didn't really drink all of it. But the long and short of the story, we had a great time. We went back to the battalion. The next day, that house blew up, demolished it, killed the village chief's wife and one of those kids in those pictures that are in that book. And they sent in a bomb. I didn't know this till 2 years ago. Jim Forsberg, my company commander, he's here with me now, told me that bomb, or at least I didn't realize it, that bomb was set to go off. It was a 24-hour clock, and it was misset. It was designed to kill the battalion commander, the XO, his entire staff, and all his company commanders. But because it was exactly 12 hours after we were there. and they found the timing device. It was a 24-hour clock that had been misset. And I never even knew. I knew there'd been an explosion in town, you know, and I knew. And later on, they said, "Oh, there was an explosion near the village chief's house." It wasn't just near it. It blew the house down and killed his wife and his daughter, and would have killed all of us that were in there having this fancy meal. So you never know what's going to happen. You know, that general, I mean, that Lieutenant Colonel Lindsay became a 4-star general in charge of the infantry school later on. So how many lives would have changed if all of us, all the officers would have died at once? There would have been no senior officers in the entire battalion. I never even really knew how close we came until 2 years ago, you know, 40 years later or whatever. So